Yash. So, it's like this therapy, especially in California. It's like become the in thing to do. It's like spirituality. It's like, yeah, let's do it. Everyone else is doing it. But like, what are the main reasons? Like, do we need to be wasting time and money on therapy? Because a lot of times, I'll tell you, therapy makes you more mental. The real freedom in life is you transcend the mental level. How are you going to fix a problem that the mind created on the level of the mind? It's like you're just spinning around, always finding something else to figure out. Oh, I got to go more deep. Oh no, I've exhausted the therapy options. Now I got to do like transgression, past life transgression. Got to figure out what I did last life. Maybe that's carried over. Oh, that's not deep enough either. I need to go back to the animal kingdom. Maybe when I was a dog, I was mean to a cat. And now that trauma, it's carried over. You see this is what I'm trying to say. But is it totally useless therapy? No. God put everything here for a reason, but we got to find out where we're at. Where are we at? Medicine can be poison, poison can be medicine, depending on where we're at. So, what are some reasons we might need therapy? Some obvious reasons. Number one, if you're going to hurt yourself. Some people have so much dysfunction and inner turmoil inside their being that they try to cut it out even. The anxiety is so intense, they just, they call them cutters, or they pull their hair out, or you just want to kill yourself. Things like that. Okay, you probably need some therapy. You need somebody to talk to who will listen to you and who at least has some level of understanding. Even if they read it from a book, at least they're there. Somebody's with you. You need something like that. There's some therapeutic value of being with another human being. I suggest, though, that you go to 12-step meetings. You find some group where other people can relate to you and you can relate to them. Not just a group where everybody just shares their pains and woes and how bad life is, but preferably a group where they've transcended. There's at least a couple people in there who have transcended their limitations and trauma they had in the past. So, they used to maybe want to die, but now they don't. They have some measure of peace. You want to be in there. But that's why I say 12-step programs are the best for that, because it's a spiritual program. A lot of these just regular therapy groups, whether it's individual therapy or group therapy, it's very much limited to the mental realm. And I'm trying to tell you, you can't fix the mind, especially when we're talking about deep psychological imbalances like this. How's the mind going to fix that? The mind's the problem. Now, also, I've heard in America, they're starting to become more open to psychedelic medicine, like psilocybin and stuff, and they're running studies, and they have control groups that people can participate in. Okay, that's a lot better than pharmaceutical drugs. It's still not the answer or cure, because you still come back after you go on the trip. You experience to some degree what your natural state is, and it's really nice. But then when that wears off, you got to go back into your normal state. Usually, that's the thing. So it's a stepping stone. It can reveal to you what your natural state is and give you something to strive for, but really only a spiritual shift in consciousness can let you be there on a more permanent level. So everything's a tool up to a point. At some point, we got to leave all the tools. You dive deep in, you find yourself. Okay, but that's maybe too much in the future for some people. We got to use the tools that are available right now. So if you're going to hurt yourself, definitely go get somebody to talk to. The other thing is, if you're going to hurt somebody else, sometimes people, they're super rageful. It's like they're either homicidal or suicidal. So it's the same thing. It's the same displaced rage and anger inside. But depending on your temperament and your character, that's either going to turn inward, you want to hurt yourself, or you want to hurt somebody else. So definitely go get some help for that. You don't want to be stuck in prison, because there's no help there. That'll make you more worse, and they'll just pump you up full of drugs so they don't have to deal with you. So you want to go get some help if you have those tendencies. It's See, some people have those tendencies. Just watch the news, you see. Third thing, this is more subtle. This is why I went to therapy when I was in my early 20s. I couldn't articulate, I didn't know how I felt. I had a girlfriend once. She'd already been in therapy, so she knew the language. And I was gonna make fun of, they have a list of like 100 different feelings. She had that list. Actually, that's a really good list though. Then you can put words to what you're feeling. It can help you. So I'm a proponent of that list actually. She asked me once though, it was clear I was in an imbalanced state. I was out of sorts. And she said, how do you feel right now? I said, I'm good. I'm good. And she just was like, because it was clear I wasn't being honest. I wasn't being honest with myself. I didn't know how I felt. There was so much emotional energy rolling around and it was all mixed together. I didn't know what was going on. So I was just like, yeah, I'm good, everything's good, whatever. So you gotta this is earthbound work. You gotta do that work. You can't just skip that and go to the spiritual level. I've met too many people that that have tried to do that and it doesn't work. And myself, I also tried to do it when I was younger. I said, I'm just gonna meditate my way into nirvana. It doesn't work. That's why I can see when others do it. You gotta do the earthbound work. But you don't want to become, you see, there's always a trap, there's duality. What I'm sharing, it can be therapeutic to have therapy, but if you start obsessing about it, like I made fun of it at the beginning, there's no end to it. You just keep going deeper into the mind and into the imperfectionism of a human being, and you can always find something. It's like if you have a car that's older and then you go take it to enough mechanics, they're gonna find something wrong. Or if you yourself, if you go to enough doctors, they're gonna diagnose you with something. So there's gotta be a balance with this, you know? You gotta let intuition guide you. Now that can be rough sometimes if we're taking too much. It's like the cards are stacked against us on some level, on a lot of people. It's like if we're taking drugs, too many drugs, that dulls our perception and consciousness. That also makes it harder to get in touch with our feelings and know what we're feeling, because it's like it blocks us from that. So you got to work with that as best you can. There's no answer. God's running this show. This is the real deal. This is the real thing. You gotta have a spiritual practice in conjunction with all these other things you're doing. I got to drive that home. That's your real antidote. That will show you, there'll be some miracles that take place, and it will just kind of guide you. It'll show you what to do, how to do it. You'd never be able to figure it out otherwise. So if you don't have a spiritual practice and you want to start, just start praying. Or do like I did. I went to every church in the phone book when I was in my early 20s because I wanted to find the right church that spoke to me. And I ended up finding the Self-Realization Fellowship with Yogananda. And then from there, it just all started. I went to India, and so this is the main foundation. But we still got to use these other tools to help support that, because we're in this human body with the emotional body, mental body. So we got to work on that level also. Both, doing both is good. You work on the earthbound human level, but you also have some practice that is helping you discover your true nature, which is beyond all this. You'll never get the human body perfect. You're always going to have emotions on some level. Some of us are more sensitive, so the emotions can be more intense. That's okay. You keep going, you clean your life up. I've talked about a balanced lifestyle, habits. This is super medicinal and important. And you have a spiritual practice, and the intensity of these emotions, which you used to feel that would just drive you crazy or send you into psychosis, that will start to calm down, okay? You'll probably never be like the average person, whatever that is. You don't want to be like the average person, though. If you're super sensitive, you're always going to feel things a little more deeply. So don't compare yourself to others. But you want to get to where there's a semblance of balance. You have a measure of peace in your life. That's good enough. And then you handle it. God shows you, intuition shows you how to handle things. You take yourself out of situations and circumstances that can provoke these disturbing emotions and feelings that you feel. Like, why put yourself in those situations? Do introspection and see. Check your life. What am I doing maybe that I shouldn't be doing? You got to live a lifestyle that's conducive for your oversensitivity that you have. And then you'll start to discover the benefits of having this oversensitivity. I've made a video on that. Go watch that. All right. Have a good day.